Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Won't be having any turkey. They're having it at the alleged grandmother of Santa Claus house. So, ha ha ha, funny, funny, right? But I wanted to let Miscavige know that we're going to be picking up a movie um, where it's the blood test on a card, and we're going to test for the food allergy. I have an issue with putting allergens on skin, and then I'm left to have to figure out how to get it out of my pores. I have very oily skin, so to have the food allergen sit on my top layer of the skin organ, which it is, and it absorbing everything else, um, we are not going to do it. And plus, I have very bad memories of the first pinprick allergy testing that I had. They had to seriously put it all over my body because there was just not enough meat from what the doctor said to do the pinprick. It was just not enough. So they couldn't do it on my arm. They couldn't do it on the portion of the back. So we are going to do it on a card. It was on a movie. I think it's made in America. Okay. It's a lot cheaper than me having to go find an allergy specialist right now because the cost of consultation initial visits are $250, and my health insurance doesn't cover the initial visit. It just covers the remaining visits, which I have to see. So we're going to try this. I didn't do this the last time. I sat on it way too long. So we're going to get the kit. The kit was less than the consultation visit, which is like the visit's 250, and the kit I bought for will just round it up to 169. I'm nervous. I'm very nervous because if we find out that this little go around that's been going on has nothing to do with food allergy, but sheer fucking lies, because in this house we really don't do a whole lot to create that kind of sinister, or are we gonna have problems? Because that's a hell of a logic bubble I have to sit there and say, how in the hell does this all work? Because that would be the only logic I have, is that it's just food related that this ended up happening, right? Okay. So we're gonna explore this pop of thought because I would like to know where this is coming from, because it keeps repeating and repeating, and you can't say it's physics based because you really can't grid out organs. It don't work like that. And organs technically are not in quantum time or anything. It, a body in motion set in motion, and that's it. You can have a body be empty, which we have. Some people not completely put together with pure anatomical parts, and yet they're still going in motion. So we have that theory. And then we have the other theory, which is if you are fully atomically put together and complete, then you're a full body physics. We'll leave that as some fun haha moment, because when I get these test results and I find out what the fuck is going on, there's going to be hell to pay, because there's another theory. The other theory is that you can brew so much fucking evil towards a person that it actually can kill them. So we're going to end up finding out. I know I've kind of put on a little weight, but it comes with the bodybuilding. I'm extremely sore. I ended up injuring myself in 4 different places from this type of working out, which is not fun. I actually, well, let's say I had overstressed the tendon that's over my kneecap to the point where it got lost in time. Yeah, remember, I'm unique. I'm a vampire. I'm unique. So when I'm in the gym, I can't put on body weight. I can only put on body mass. So when I went to bend at the correct posture stance, because In physics, you have to draw them out. Guess what happened? I blew out my knee. Blew out my knee. And I blew it out slow, fast enough to where it it actually rewinded itself to that moment. Oh no, it's like one of these things, right? You know, like the Mendabone scene from Harry Potter? That's exactly what it was after I got done putting the bar down. It was scary. Don't think it wasn't scary. It was very scary because I could have ended up, I foreseen it as like, that's a lot of fucking medical expenses. Paramedics, phone call, extreme pain and crying, inability to walk, um, paralyzing shooting pain. Like it was like, I could see it all out. And then I was hearing all like the boo boos I was going to go through. Lost my job, lost my ability to pay stuff. It was definitely a medical leave that was not going to get covered. So it was a very lucky moment. Let's just put it that way. But it actually ended up proving one of the things I've always argued with the athletes in my locker hallway was that you can only train your muscle to perform in certain sets of motion based on how you did your training during the basics and foundation time, which means the the carving time. So if I'm leg lifting 90 pounds and I put on me, given that I'm 135 pounds and then an additional 85 pounds on my shoulders, you're bound to blow out. You're bound to blow out. So, and I did, I proved it. Not the safest way in one hand, but it was actually done in the correct posture and stance, which means that there's a lot of people not doing it correct for that to happen, because a lot of times you see them, they're hunched over, or they're having incorrect posture and stance, and so it's a whole fucking long argument. It is. It's like one of those fine hair type fucking logic of bubble argument, which is fine. You can get into it with me. That's the whole point of the body mass versus body weight argument, which is correct in the gym, because that is like a complete physics, like gymboree of problems. It really is. It's got weights, it's got pivot points, center points, fulcrum, balances, anything you name it, it's in there. It's a wonderful place to explore and let your mind wander in the whole concepts of physics. And then lateral raises, I just kind of, you know, overextended that too. I don't know what the hell the muscles that like along the curvature of the foot connected to the leg, but that's overextended. And then I went and did the opposite, the inverted version of the ab cruncher or the ab carver, and went down like this, blew out the middle of my tummy. I'm having so much fun. I'm having so much fun, but I'm recovering super fast. So I do have superpowers. Yay, super healing powers. But the knee is completely noodle. It's completely noodle. If you want to know how to replace how to repair it real quickly, like mend a bone, you walk straight back to the foundation machine and you build at 0 and you keep building at 50, and then you give it about a whole week to recover. Or you can continue to keep training it to recognize that it is a major important part of the body, because it's the first thing that helps you get the fuck out and out of bed and move your body and all that important stuff. So the knee has become the most important part and pivotal point on a human body. It's very valuable. You can get rid of your feet, not a big deal. You don't really need to stand up to take a look what's going on outside. You need to be able to, though, turn your body in different directions to not gather what we call bed sores. So it's fascinating. It's completely fascinating. It's a complete argument, because some would say you don't really need your knees. You do need your knees. Because if you drop a tampon in front of a group of guys that not willing to pick it up, you're going to have to bend down and get it. And it's kind of hard when your legs are a lot longer than your upper body. And you got to bend down and now you can't get it. So pray to God you got fucking longer arms than your upper torso. Or some female has just made a mistake and walking into the wrong corridor and happens to pick up the tampon and hand it to you in order to spare you from the nice pearly white wolves smiling at you. Take your pick. Take your pick. Take your pick. But yes, we're getting to that point. We're getting to that point. I would like some answers. That's what it is right now. Because when I get this test, it's going to help me sleep and pop the rest of the bubbles that went on with this, because there was a lot of lying and push to have conversation, and it was like, what is going on here? Because before, it used to be, before he went back out east, okay, because remember, if Miscavige gets involved and Gary Peters gets involved, they start looking at everything, and they don't look at, well, it happened like this and it happened like, no, they look at everything, because it's trauma, especially like how we were all brought up. Stop looking at my face. It's a bad acne cyst, but we're gonna leave it right there. It came in a good time because I'm not pregnant. The tests that I took are not false positive, so we're good. We're good on that. That was a close one. That was a close one. We're not doing it again. Everybody should know that if you see a 6'7" guy claiming to be in the war in Iraq, the movie Naked Gun should flash in your face, like, complete obvious would never happen. So we are going to avoid that also. It was definitely scary. Um, don't want to talk about it. I hate to be an undercover agent, but I ended up, it just was like, okay, sat there, and then y'all asked me like to regurgitate it back, but then you all forgot, like, did like completely open brain surgery on myself with that whole stunt, so y'all got like whatever the hell was brainstorming, which was completely whatever. I don't know what the hell it is. We'll let the two brain and the pinkies argue it out, because I'm too tired to explain what's going on, other than I'm just gathering fucking arguments and defenses on my fucking case, because this whole stunt, I really truly believe, came from people spending it in the wrong places, them having to have no money, and then we have this sinister thought of, let's kill somebody for money. And I really believe that if these tests come back negative, that part of thinking really festered to the point where it became a battle between my act of good deeds, because I have never, ever experienced such a moment. Like I said, we're going to find out. We're going to find out how fucking evil this world is. And we'll see. I'm really hoping for the test results to come back and we have intolerances and positives for allergies in the seafood section. I really do. Because if we don't, this is going to be one hell of a physics and theology battle then. Because I have no other way to explain that one. I truly do not believe in any of the religions anymore, because they're all businesses, and whatever happened to me has influenced my thinking. I don't tell men that unless I truly trust them in a relationship long enough with them to do that. So, even though it's like all out on YouTube, but we're going to find out. I want to know. I want to know. I want to be able to go back in December 2015 with that knowledge. I didn't do that here. So we're going to find out. Am I nervous? Yeah, I hate poking myself on the finger. I can't. I have like this obscene fear of needles. That's that's probably the blockage, is that I have to sit there and I have to poke myself and do that. Fear of needles. You should see what happens when I like stab myself with the needle while sewing. It hurts. It hurts, and then I don't want to do it anymore. It's like I don't want to touch it. And today I overcame my fear. Part of yoga is that you have to be able to stretch your body, which is what I did. So somebody's going to say, I think she opened up her sacral chakra. No, I opened up the two stones sitting above the initial stone. They're actually coal. So I've transformed the stones into coal because we're still keeping the theme of Christmas. It's a Christmas present for me. So there's two coals sitting above the initial coal, and I opened it up. Open it up. So yes, when you're talking to the yogi expert, use stones. When you're talking to me, translate it to coal, because it got set on fire. Someone lit it up. Someone said it's Christmas time, and I figured out my present. I don't know which animal it was. I think it was Em, because Em got really low and hunkered, and he showed me his honeycomb bee look. And in the Freud house, that's exactly what it means. Justice time. Justice time. Judgment. It is. But when it comes from Em, that means Em witnessed something. So my kitty cat witnessed something, which explains why he's sleeping all the time. Because we know the cat don't have a food allergy. The cat's nothing more than an angel with sugar in his diet. He's a sugar powder kitty. Okay? So we're going to find out what Em saw. Because for Em to suggest that, see, Mir says, hold on to your money, which has always been the fucking fight. Because she's a female, and that's what females do. I don't know if you've seen it, okay? Black women, when they find out you cheating, they spend it. Spend it. White women, they find out they're cheating, they said, no, start putting it aside. Start saying no. Start saying no, put it aside, hide it somewhere, don't spend it. I told you not to fucking spend it. Hide it somewhere. I did this all in high school. Okay, I did this all in high school because I knew I was going to be a loner when I grew up, because I was going to become a bigger bitch. When you're a Cancer, you become a bigger bitch. Okay, and when you're attached to Sabrina, the cold-hearted ice queen, okay, now you're not raising Frozen. What you're raising is goddamn Skeletor Kingdom. Okay, Grayskull. I'm Grayskull. That's Skeletor Kingdom. Grayskull, Skeletor Kingdom. Okay, when I buy pets that I know have value and worth and understand what's going on in Miriam's world. Because she's the queen in the house. Okay? She's the queen. Fuck it. The money will speak. Em's got a different approach. Em is a what, everybody? A feral kitty cat. This is Em with his popper. Okay. I kitty cat. I got raised. Told that the vets are a good thing. We go to the vets. Mommy drives Em to the vets. Vets give me a little shot. I feel happy. I feel all better. I feel all vaccinated. And life's good. I don't feel good. I get tested. Lab results come back. Voila. Test results. So we're going to try Em's approach on this one versus doing the elimination diet, which is what I did. But I also feel that Marion's approach is also correct scientifically per the University of Berkeley approach of blood sampling concept. The antibodies will not change if it's in a pure bloodstream. It will only indicate if the antibodies and the pathogen have a conflict. Solid theory, man. Makes sense. Makes sense. It's no different than you, Lindsey Graham, coming into my house, which is pure heaven, and you fucking interrupting it with your fucking pure evil. Okay, guess who's gonna win? My house is going to win because what's going to hit you in the face is the door, number one. Number two, number two, what's going to hit you in the ass is a baseball bat. Remember, you're on Sesame Street. Get the fuck out. What the fuck are you going to expect? Okay? That's an example right there of what's going to happen. The antibodies in my blood are going to have weapons in their hands, and then the pathogens are going to have weapons in their hands, and they're going to and we're going to get a test result from it. And if the pathogen wins, that means I'm allergic. If the pathogens don't win, that means I have immunity to it. Voila. Behold, the off thinking of this testing on a card. I had to get through it. I actually had to bubble logic through it because everybody says go to the doctor and get tested. I have a problem. I have oily skin. I also have, okay, acne outbreak on my back due to oily skin. Okay. To add that shit onto it, you're going to sit there and you're going to put something on it and you're going to fucking worsen my skin condition. No, no. And if you pinprick me, we got to go through the whole ordeal that I can't pinprick you. You don't have fat on you to do the testing. I don't have fat on my back, and you sure as hell I'm not going to touch my belly because my belly is super sensitive, is hive sensitive. And it's hive sensitive to the fucking fabric softener. Duh. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to kill me. We're not going to do that. We're gonna get over another Freud fear, pinprick, drop, 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 and drop. Not stick, 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 and stick, meaning stick it on the card, stick it on the card. Drop. That's it. That's it. Okay. And then I'm gonna get my elf badge. I'm gonna get the elf badge of medical wonder using hot chocolate and sugar cookies to explain it. Because that's what it's all about in Santa Claus 2 Dianetics. How well can you think it through using all the A's that you got in school for you to have a Christmas vacation? Okay? Just be cute about it, but don't hurt my feelings. Don't hurt my feelings because I have gone through this before. I did not get my test results. I demanded it when I was 12. And it became a fucking piss fight. My sister got her test results with no problems, but not me. So we're not going to go through it and we're not going to use tarots to find it out. We're not going to phone call CP. We're going to just do the test. Okay. I feel a weight lifted off my chest because as soon as I purchased this, it was like, okay, we're not going to argue with the receptionist at the fucking allergy clinic down here because she was rude as hell. You couldn't give me a price in about how much it was going to cost me. Couldn't answer my question. See, I'm a 1 minute person on the phone. How much is the consultation visit? It's $250. I should hear that soft voice. No, what I heard is, well, it's $250. Is it out of pocket? Do you have health insurance? It's both. It's both because right now my employer decided to put a little arbitration clause in obtaining health insurance. So it's both. Okay. Rude, number one. Dieter is the word that comes into mind. Number two, question asks, well, what's the cost of the test? Well, it's based on what you're getting tested. It's seafood. It's seafood. Well, it depends on the panel that you're getting. I just said it's seafood. That means no good. Okay. So I would have blown at least $1,500 at this place on a panel that I possibly bought for a fraction of the cost. We're going to see. Supposedly, this new filter card is one of the hottest things that was going on when I was in biochemistry classes in my biochemistry program, which was true. You guys had just got done mastering this type of technology, so we're going to invest in it. Remember, we're going to keep going through it. Okay. I can't do anything to dry out my skin. My skin is my organ, and I'm going to cherish whatever fucking oil is left in it. Okay? Because to see this and to feel my boo boo inside the tummy, that's a good thing. Considering all the shit that I went through and all the lying I went through to deal with. I'm going to call him the Michigan goatweed. I'm going to call it. We had created such a bubble. As if you didn't want to go and follow the story to see what other person's reaction would be. Because nobody watches Naked Gun like that. Like, I mean, if Jeb was next to you, yeah, he would be like, okay, he's 6'7". He has a broadcasting degree. Your interpretation would be, fuck him. No, your interpretation would be, I'm holding a video. It is. It's like the pyramid show. I'm holding a video. Your interpretation would be. It is. It's just. And you do. And once you pop it, you want to say, how in the hell did this get over the senators? Not unless they're sitting there watching, saying, how in the hell do you live with that type of lie and not ask yourself why I can only walk so far? I'm sorry. And then you wouldn't ask me through tunes. Yeah, I'm gonna put a pillow on my head at this point. Oh no, it was bad. It was bad. I'm leaving out one traumatic part because there's no way you can find a movie to fix this one. This is just. That's pure evil right there. That's pure evil. And I'm gonna let that sit on him and not on me. And that's something every girl should keep saying if they've experienced that. I'm talking about girls that have witnessed this type of contact. So we're not going to talk about it. That's private right there. And every woman has the ability to make that a weapon. So, because I'm not, it's a repeated trauma. That's why. And the best way to do it is just saying no and to keep saying no and no and no and no. So I do envy women that have a YI, which is a yeast infection. Um, because the moment you open up your legs, that's it. It's a Dieter. But I don't envy you outside of that though, because you can't fucking work with it. So yeah, we're not going through that. Not through that at all. So I just wanted to let everybody know. Um, I think by doing that, it's gonna lift a lot of the issues that started on the first day about food, because it was like I don't want to eat. I just want to sip my green tea and Coke and just be mindful of that. And it just became a full blown fight, and that's when I just started to eat crackers and Coke and tea, and I just wanted to binge eat that and just eat the stress away. Because out of my mouth when I went to go call the Red Cross out east, it was I'm O positive. I'm not B negative. I says I'm O positive because I got tested the last time for it. And it was just like a complete big time bubble pop. So, but I really want to know, like I said the last time I sat on this, and I didn't want to open that type of facts, but now I am. Now I am because it's killing me. It's killing me to know. And nobody should be condemning or cursing me if it's completely negative. Because now it becomes, what the fuck really happened. Was it that many phone calls of just hate that just brewed and brewed and brewed, which brings up one bubble. And I'm not going to get into that argument because that's exactly how I had the first trauma happen. So nobody should be talking that much negative about a person without getting to know them. Like, for instance, I was telling somebody today, I don't speak Italian because when I went and took an Italian class over at St. Barbara's, the Italian teacher was actually cringing at me speaking it and trying to be correct about it. And it was like, you have no personality when you speak it. I have no personality when I speak it because it's not my language. It's an immediate like negative. So like I walked into it already hearing the negative, and my sister getting like the full go ahead, like go ahead and speak it however you want. You can't speak it however you want. You need to speak it correct. Okay, so I spoke it correct, and everybody's hating me for it. And the same thing with Spanish. Nobody wanted me to take Spanish. Nobody wanted me to take a language, and it was like, why? Well, because you don't look pretty when you speak it. Okay, well, nobody looks pretty when they speak English either. Okay, that's hurtful to me. That's hurtful to me because it's amazing what happens when your mind starts speaking correct grammar. You'd be amazed at how fast things come out of people. So let's focus on that. But there's going to be this whole argument. Well, she doesn't speak Spanish, then she shouldn't be doing any of these jobs and stuff. Don't start that fight. Don't start that fight. Don't start any type of fight right now, because not a single one of y'all can break this fucking loop at all. And all I'm doing is just elongating to the point to where we go back through. It's gonna be a quick 2 weeks, get in and get out, because now I'm pissed off. I'm completely pissed off. Everything's repeating. Everything's still the same conversation, and that's not correct. It's correct in some places at the wrong timing and all that. And I know that because I went through this with Hungry Eyes before. And then y'all got upset, and so we had to switch it up because supposedly he, being 6'7" guy, had military documentations, and that's not true. That's not true at all. Not true at all. Come here, Ian. Come here, my baby boy. Why isn't that true, Ian? Because a Freud person should never be experiencing Carl Jung omens. Too many bees. Too many bees. Yeah. And you're my wasp. You're my wasp. Remember a fucking vicious one, but you're kind. You seen something. I want to know what you seen. Because I wasn't home most nights when I was working at KFC. He probably had Cheryl over and fucked her. Or he had a couple other women. I know he fucked them. I know he fucked them. You know how I know? Because the sex health diminished. That's how I know. That's how I know. Why are we benching out and maxing out our arms? Like, it's one thing to blow out your knee. It's one thing to blow out your knee. It's another to blow out your shoulders, though. It's another to blow out your shoulders, especially when you've had surgery on top of it. Trench mouth, trench mouth, trench mouth, trench mouth. Sorry. I can't bite my nails. I bit them all off today, this morning, while I was at the gym. We're going to find out what it is, yeah. I do. I want to cry. This is like the worst affair beating I've taken, and I don't even know the person. That's what's sad. So whatever trip visit he made by himself out here, or whatever lie he said, whoever this woman is, I really don't want to ever meet her again. Even if I haven't, I still don't want to ever meet her. Because this is the worst beating ever. And the reason why I know this is because my mom was pregnant with my sister. My dad had an affair on her. And the mistress was definitely evil to my mother. So my mom had a little bit of complications with Sabrina. So that's how I know. That's why Sabrina's so cold. Um, she was extremely cold. Whereas my mom, when she had me, she was just dealing with my dad. My dad was vicious too. So I am my father's daughter. It sounds so fucking Polish Hellenistic, but it's true. But Sabrina is the way she is because of what happened with my mom when she was handling the affair with my dad. So there's a lot. There's a lot in this family of emotional issues, but my sister and I, we managed. Like I said, we sit down and we think it through. Sabrina went through the better days of Cabrini, and then I kept getting shit on and shit on and shit on because everybody kept saying I was creating stories and stuff. I wasn't creating stories. It was just how I handled it. It was truly how I handled it because when I walk in, it was always like, what would Spock do in this situation? How would he handle it? And that's really what I did. Because after the first trauma that took place, um, I never trusted anybody again. So I became completely cold-hearted, and I didn't care what I had to do to keep people away from me. I wasn't going to stop showering. I wasn't going to um, do crazy things like eat my acne. Uh, um, the craziness. I wasn't going to do all that other people do. So that's why I came to Scientology, because of what I went through. So I don't regret that. What it is we're trying to get concrete answers because I want them. I want them. This is one hell of a goddamn stunt I keep repeating and breaking through, but I'm tired and I'm done with it. So, and if I want my $400 rent apartment, this is how I'm gonna get it. That's how I'm gonna get it. Find out. I know, because this is one hell of like isolation. Like it was completely isolation before this all started. Radium. Hmm? Yeah. You've been with us so long. I like your approach. Focus on the present, invading into the future. I like that. Yeah. No. Mimir is developing her Star Wars story. Yeah. She's on her own Death Star. You know she is. She's sitting there going, in a Darth Vader outfit, whitening her teeth. Excuse me, if you don't think a pet wants to be part of the Star Wars argument, you're so fucking mistaken. You haven't been at enough crazy wild conventions or heard the horror stories. I met a dog at the Star Wars convention, And it got outwitted by the cat at the Star Wars convention. Okay. Cat sat through it a lot longer than the dog did. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You like Michigan? At least she didn't have to walk it like Mir did. Who's a Christmas kitty? Mir is. Mir's a Christmas kitty. So, anyways, I got over my fear of breaking my neck when I'm flipping. Ow! Let go! You hurt. I conquered my fear today. I know. Long digression. Hopefully you followed along. It's a lot to get out, like I said. I guess the only treat probably would do is just caramel frappuccino instead of Starbucks and just unwind. So I hope I picked the right box. I hope I picked the right company. I hope I picked the right test lab because it's important. It's important. I know I don't have AIDS. I know I don't have HIV, so we're good. We're good. So like the NES, that NES song, we can say where the road's gonna travel in this one. I hope it travels straight through. Travels straight through. Because once I get this test results back, I want to be able to start focusing on walking away and not looking at human emotion. I shouldn't be able to look at human emotion and be affected by it. Because if my theory is correct, and that I'm the only one that's completely, truly above and beyond awakened, and the rest of the people that are trying to like hurt me in order to get more money from me, well, I shouldn't be affected by that. I should be able to walk through. I should be able to walk away. I should be able to get my priorities done. I should be able to get up in the morning and say, I have a car lease that's important. I need to take care of it. Um, and know that Miriam's not going to be hurt in the middle of it. Because I can't take her. She's too. How can I say it? She's just gone through the whole spinning of it all. So that car is important to get back. There's a lot of things that were important that needed to be done in those 2 weeks before January 15, 2015 that needed to get done. And a lot of employers right now are not giving out health care, and they're giving out health care with conditions or the HR person, when they speak, they don't speak with confidence and good intentions towards employees. So it's becoming really, how well can you keep your money and make good decisions at the same time? I don't know where this fucking book came from. Nobody should be doing that because there isn't enough money to go around. There isn't. You claimed that you had a second round of unemployment. That never happened. Um, there's a lot of things that you guys are doing that are contradicting. It's just like, I'm gonna bring up the old fucking slogan. Are you guys creating your 8 hours a week, like your 8 hours a day, 5 days a week in DC? Because that's a shitload of fucking contradictions. Anyways, I swear to God, I'm gonna. I should have known that the black squirrel brought in two more black friends and ate the pumpkins on the haystack. Okay, fucker. Trust me, we can go so fucking biblical. I got stones in the back. I can makeshift a fucking slingshot in 2 seconds. It's gonna either bust you in the head or bust the car that drove you into my fucking residency. I don't want chocolate. I want more potent green tea. Actually, I want to sit down and just eat a whole bunch of freaking cupcakes. Just want do. I just want to sit there and just shove my face in a whole bunch of them. One of those cartoon characters. Right. So I thought I let Miscavige know what's going on. Um, Still finding answers non-invasive, it's like it's asked, non-invasive. It isn't invasive. What's invasive is the fact if I put something on my body and I can't get rid of it immediately, that's invasive. Doing the blood draw, that's non-invasive. Non-invasive. That's no different than going to the Red Cross here, getting pricked, and then seeing if my blood measures up. So that's non-invasive. That's by my choice. What I don't have by my choice is the ability to remove whatever can't be removed. So that no, that's correct. It's a correct logical statement. It's a correct logical statement. And then I'm still working on my gift cards. Still trying to figure out how to maintain the receipts or how to walk in and grab a gift card, because now everybody, what they do is they don't ask the question, do you want to purchase a gift card first and then make your purchase? So everybody's assuming it's together. So they kind of got fucked up when I did it at 7-Eleven. So, but yeah, I'm gonna make it's simple, like, budget sheet. It's not to represent a business or anything like that. It's to represent my spending, and then to keep track of that spending with the receipts, and then log it in, because they really don't need the receipts. They just need to know what you're spending per month. So, and if I'm going to do the divorce, that's going to be critical to show. I really don't care. I don't care how ridiculous it is, because something just, how should I say it? Something wasn't right with my ex-husband's bankruptcy, so that was ridiculous. gonna be an oh well. And tomorrow I get to wear my Oscar the Grouch shirt because that's how very confident I feel about this purchase. I feel very confident and I feel safe either way. No one should be condemning me, you know, over this. And no one should be chastising me at the same time because this trauma that happened for, like the trauma with the men before the stunt, it carried through. It continued to keep going further and further, and it got more and more easy to do it because it involved age difference and maturity. And so the argument became, well, she had the ability to say no. Okay, but you had the ability to walk away from it too. So there's that constant fist fight. And considering that a lot of people probably took advantage of the situation that went on in the newspapers, um, there's nothing I can do about it. I did avoid it. I was taking all the heavy classes that I could take without sacrificing grades. I even took a class to show that, you know, I was trying to keep busy. I was trying to maintain a full schedule and be like the rest of the kids. So I didn't care for physics. If I could redo physics all over again, I would, but I think I'm going to do it on my own terms. Yeah, you're miserable. You want fire? You want me to do a cackling fire? What time is it? It's 8:50. I still can do a cackling fire. Hmm? My little comet? When your sister has her birthday in this month, and she a full-blown turkey kitty, I fed her own meal. Um, it's tough. It's tough again. It's tough. Because your birthday not until August. Is it August for me? It's all no, it's not. It's earlier than that. 6 months. Yeah. Yeah. Started a New Year kitty. And you got a dragon for a mama. Yeah. Pretty cat. Such a freaky cat. There's somebody who wants to hold you and feed you a whole bunch of freaking carbs. But we don't like lasagna though. Mm-mm. We like bakery items like cannolis and angel wings and pizzelles and bread and butter and temptations. You full of sugar kitty. We just don't eat cupcakes and cake. We don't. It's coming sooner than later. Hmm. I noticed that. You guys notice my eyes shifting. It's just a natural tendency. I do it all the time. I used to do it all the time during school. Yeah. I will put out my Hungry Eyes Dying Eggs, hopefully with the test results, and then I'll be all squared away. See what happens. Don't make fun of this. don't make fun of this, because if nobody can prove anything outside the home, then this is the way to do it. If everybody's cooped up and stuff. No, I don't want to be a celebrity. I never want to be in that predicament. That's like the ugliest soul and the ugliest life you can possibly be. So, I like where I'm at. Yeah, I like where I'm at. So I got you, and I got Mama. I don't care about your sister. I just gotta make sure Miriam's safe during the time I return the car and I get her. Alright. Well, happy Thanksgiving. I know I won't have any. I'm gonna be spending my time up in Frankenmuth because I'm avoiding the other party that sided with my ex-husband, so I don't know why, but I guess when you shove like enough fucking Q-tips up your ass every day, 6 times 7, 356 fucking days, I guess I would be fucking seeing the wrong side too, so I'm gonna make it a point to get up early Thanksgiving morning, grab a cup of hot chocolate, Starbucks if they're open, if not, got a good old box here, drive the 2 hours with my hot cocoa, safe, listening to Enya, and then continue to walk around Frankenmuth, listening to Enya, and enjoying my cup of hot cocoa, and just waiting for the big grand Christmas present to come. And like I said, it's going to be both good news, both sides. So, both sides. All right. You won't hear from me for a few days or until I get the test results. Just wanted to touch base.